When you think about businesses that are selling through the roof, like Skims or Allbirds, sure, you think about a great product, a cool brand, and great marketing. But an often overlooked secret is actually the businesses behind the business, making selling and for shoppers buying simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. It's home of Shop Pay, the #1 checkout in the world. You can use it to boost conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts going abandoned and way more sales going through to checkout. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout Allbirds uses. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/income, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/income to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/income.
This is The Planted Runner. I'm Coach Claire Bartholic. If your algorithm looks anything like mine, you've seen the videos of the East African elites. They're lined up in formation like an aerobic army, and they perform funny little hops, skips, and jumps all in unison. At first glance, it looks a little absurd, but there's a reason the best runners in the world keep doing them. Research continues to show that short bouts of plyometric training can improve running economy, lower leg stiffness, force production, and neuromuscular coordination. In practical terms, runners become smoother, quicker, and more efficient without adding more mileage. It's also been shown to help eliminate, or at least delay, the dreaded dead leg bump at the end of a marathon. Could a few minutes of skips and hops each week actually help you run faster and stronger? Let's find out. Welcome to The Planted Runner. I'm Coach Claire Bartholic, and my mission is to help you improve your running, your mindset, and your life with science-backed training and plant-based nutrition. On today's show, we're going to talk about the power of plyometrics. You'll learn why explosive training matters, even for marathoners, how plyos improve running economy and durability, the biggest mistake runners can make while adding them in, and my favorite simple way to sneak in plyometrics into your routine without turning it into another exhausting workout. All of the runners I coach get plyometrics on their schedule, and you can check out the routine I've made for free over on YouTube. If you'd like me to create a custom schedule for your next race or goal, including my plyo routine, head to theplantedrunner.com/plans to learn more. That's theplantedrunner.com/plans. Don't forget to stay tuned all the way to the end of the episode for another Mental Strength Minute. Fortify your mind in 60 seconds or less. Most runners think running is all about, well, running. And of course it is. That's the biggest part of it. But you will never reach your potential, not even close, if you only run. You definitely should be strength training and working on your cognitive strength as well. But there's another piece of the equation that gets overlooked all the time, and that's mechanical efficiency. Every time your foot hits the ground while running, your body has to absorb force, stabilize, and then reapply force to move you forward again. That cycle happens hundreds and hundreds of times per mile. The better your body gets at storing and releasing elastic energy, especially through the feet, calves, and Achilles tendon, the less energy you waste. That's one reason elite runners often look so smooth and effortless. They're not just aerobically fit, they're incredibly elastic. Plyometrics train exactly that. Researchers now believe that one of the key benefits to plyometric training for runners is improved tendon stiffness. That might sound like a bad thing, but in this context, it's actually beneficial. A stiffer tendon acts more like a spring. It stores energy when you land and releases it efficiently when you push off. Think of the difference between bouncing a basketball versus a beanbag. One rebounds energy, the other absorbs it. Efficient runners rebound. This becomes especially important late in races when fatigue sets in. Strong, reactive lower legs help maintain stride mechanics when everyone else starts shuffling. And interestingly, some studies suggest plyometric training may improve running economy even more effectively than traditional heavy strength training alone. Now, before you panic and think that I'm going to start telling you to leap up boxes half your height, let me reassure you. The biggest mistake runners make with plyometrics is doing too much too soon. Because plyos feel athletic and exciting and even fun, runners often turn them into conditioning workouts. They add burpees, squat jumps, tuck jumps, jump lunges, and a whole circus routine that leaves them exhausted and sore for days. That is not the goal. Your goal is quality, not fatigue. You want quick, crisp, powerful contacts with the ground. You don't necessarily have to jump very high, but you do need to get bouncy. For distance runners especially, plyometrics should support your running, not compete with it. That means the sweet spot is usually very small doses, such as 3 to 5 minutes after an easy run or some drills before a speed day. Or you can do a dedicated 10 minutes once or twice a week. That's enough for most runners to get significant benefits. A great way to introduce plyos is a little microdosing of a few minutes throughout the week. This tends to work well for runners because it adds very little fatigue while keeping the nervous system sharp and reactive. For most people, it's much easier to stay consistent with 3 minutes a day rather than 30 once a week. And I'll tell you my favorite way to do that right after a quick break. For years, I thought I could figure almost anything out with Google, YouTube, and stubbornness. Actually, I still do for the most part. And with my running, that plan worked until it didn't. That's when I realized I was stuck and alone. So I sucked up my pride and joined a coaching community. And that changed my running more than any article I ever read. I didn't care about the group part at first. I just wanted better results for myself. But the group is what made that possible. I wasn't just hiring an expert coach. I was getting a team. And that's why the PR team works so well. People usually join for the custom training plan and the coaching, but why they stay, often for years, is because the community matters more than they imagined. A fun part for me every week is I record an exclusive private podcast for the team, talking through what matters right now, what I'd ignore, and where runners often waste energy worrying. And I love seeing new runners realize quickly that they belong there too. Curious about what it feels like to skip ahead and level up your running in months instead of years? Learn more today at theplantedrunner.com/group. That's theplantedrunner.com/group. The Planted Runner is sponsored by Liquid IV. Did you know that I was a Class 5 whitewater rafting guide in my 20s? For 3 summers, I guided guests down some of the wildest rivers in the West while the sun beat down on us and the icy water kept us cool. Hydration at the time was a rinsed out orange juice jug roped to the raft. Thankfully, today we have superior hydration. Liquid IV delivers longer lasting hydration than water alone. And right now you can get 20% off your first order with code PLANTED at checkout. I love the mandarin orange flavor and rely on it after every workout. Just 1 stick and 16 ounces of water hydrates better than water alone. Powered by Live Hydroscience, an optimized ratio of electrolytes, essential vitamins, and clinically tested nutrients that turn ordinary water into extraordinary hydration. Soak up unforgettable moments with on-the-go hydration from Liquid IV. Tear, pour, live more. Go to liquidiv.com and get 20% off your first order with code PLANTED at checkout. That's 20% off your first order with code PLANTED at liquidiv.com. Welcome back to the Planted Runner. I'm Coach Claire Bartholic. If you want to become a stronger, springier runner, you do not need a fancy gym setup or an advanced strength program. One of the best tools might be sitting in your garage or closet somewhere from your childhood. It's a jump rope. I think jump roping is one of the most underrated tools for runners. It trains rhythm, coordination, elasticity, foot strength, lower leg stiffness, posture, balance, and timing all at once. And unlike some traditional plyometric drills that maybe feel intimidating, jump rope naturally teaches you to be light and reactive on your feet. You cannot jump rope well while stomping around like an elephant. It forces efficiency. Another thing I love about jump roping is the cadence carryover to running. Most runners struggle with turnover, not because they physically cannot move faster, but because they lack coordination and rhythm at higher step rates. Jump roping trains rhythm automatically. There's also some discussion among coaches and sports scientists about the importance of foot and ankle strength for injury resilience, especially in masters runners. The feet are not passive flippers attached to your legs. They are active, responsive structures that absorb and redirect force. And most modern shoes do a lot of the work for us. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but it does mean that many runners have weak feet and lower legs relative to the demands of running. Jump roping can help restore some of that capacity. Now, this does not mean you should suddenly start doing barefoot jump roping on concrete for 30 minutes. Please don't do that. You still need a gradual progression. A simple speed rope is perfect. They're really inexpensive and super easy to use. Start with just 3 minutes total, not 3 minutes nonstop, just 3 minutes overall. You will be naturally limited by your ability, so if you miss and need to reset, consider that your rest and try again. The goal at first is coordination and rhythm, not more cardio. Here are some tips on technique. Keep your jumps very low. You're barely going to leave the ground. Stay tall through your posture with your ribs stacked over your hips. Flick the rope down from your wrists, not your shoulders, and keep your contacts quick and quiet. One thing I really like for runners is alternating foot jump rope because it mimics the rhythm of running a little more closely than 2-foot bouncing. You can start with something simple like 20 seconds of regular jumping, 20 seconds of alternating feet, and then 20 seconds side to side hopping. Then you rest and repeat 2 or 3 times. That's it. Another great option is to pair plyos with strides after an easy run. For example, you could do 10 pogo hops, skipping for maybe 20 meters or so, 4 strides, and then you're done. And one more important point, plyometrics belong on hard days or easy days, depending on the intensity, but generally not the day before your longest or hardest sessions until you know how your body responds. A little soreness in the calves at first is normal, but feeling completely wrecked is not. If you're in the middle of a heavy race block or coming back from injury, less is definitely more. The goal is not to prove your toughness. The goal is to become more efficient and resilient over time. With or without a rope, plyometrics can help runners become more powerful, more coordinated, and more economical with surprisingly little time investment. And do you want to know another surprising benefit? Jumping rope is fun. Sometimes bouncing around for 3 minutes like a little kid is exactly what your training needs. So if you've been stuck at the same pace, you're bonking at the end of the marathon, you're feeling flat in workouts, or just looking for a smart way to build strength without adding more mileage, it's time to jump into plyometrics. And now it's time for the Mental Strength Minute. Fortify your mind in 60 seconds or less. Today's topic is don't apologize for your pace. No matter what your ability, all runners think they are too slow. We want to be faster, and when we're around faster people, we tend to apologize for slowing others down. Embrace your pace and remember that there are people that wish that they could do what you can do. We runners have a lot more in common than we think, and I promise, just like in high school, we are often thinking about ourselves more than we are looking down on others. So no more pace apologies. We are all runners at any speed.
Thank you for listening to The Planted Runner, part of the Evergreen Podcast Network. Don't forget that you can enter to win a free custom training plan for your next race and get featured on the show. Just write an Apple Podcast review and enter at theplantedrunner.com/PRLab. Of course, reviews are the #1 way to boost this show's reach, and it's a great way to tell me what you'd like to hear next because I read every single one. Have a great run today.
In 2021, the wife and son of Alex Murdaugh, an attorney from a prominent South Carolina family, were found shot to death. The story captivated the nation. That's when we began the podcast Impact of Influence. In March of 2023, Alec Murdaugh was convicted of murdering his wife Maggie and their 22-year-old son Paul. The latest, Alec Murdaugh was granted a new trial by the South Carolina Supreme Court citing jury tampering. The case will be tried before the end of the year, and we will be on top of it. Get Impact of Influence wherever you get your favorite podcast.